Happy New Year. Welcome to Monday. I'm really excited to be here. I am streaming live again to three platforms. I first and foremost want to thank you for any support following that you've done to listen to or read the previous narrative to the video that I previously done. Also, want to throw this out there that I am growing into the new equipment and I got rid of that nasty hum. I totally know that that humming noise is annoying. It turns out the gain was up too high on something. It was like a gain overlay, or I don't know. It was a function or a button that was digital that was running on the interface. I got rid of that. I do not know yet if I've gotten rid of the mono audio. So the previous video I recorded was only showing up in the left audio when replayed. If and when I have time here, I will go on and look for the original track for the previous video and clean that up and then repost the video with clean audio. I won't edit it. I said stuff in there. I went back. I had live remorse where I shouldn't have said that. I should delete this. And I'm just like, nah, you know what? Let's just keep it rolling. Keep it moving and grooving is what I'm thinking. So what I want to do here is I want to do a improv of the understanding, basically the improv of the understanding of personal and professional development and their connection. So I'm just going to improv this. My thing is I want to be able to bring more clarity and structure to my content. At the same time, I also want to be able to bring my unique perspectives as they come. So personal development to me is this knowing of how I am and how I show up. A very quick, simple statement to that is ever since I was a child, I was told, both in a positive and a derogatory, that I have the gift of gab, so to speak. And this gift of gab has always been the basis of my existence. It's literally like what makes me good at selling. It's what makes me good at interacting with people. Now, personal development wise, I understand that knowing myself that I talk a lot, I also have to be able to really understand at what point do I allow other people to be heard and how I'm perceived in that perspective, because the last thing I want to do with a high energy and a strong personality is dominate a conversation with someone where they don't feel like they're heard, they don't feel like they're having any real value or contribution. So I bring that to that self-awareness, that whole piece of having enough self-awareness. And I think without question, we know that in order to develop professionally, somebody has to have self awareness. So that's a really simple connection right there, that the self awareness piece is personal development. If somebody has a lot of success in business and they also struggle with a lot of challenges that humans struggle with, like relationships, getting to know themselves, and these different levels of depth, they are lacking in the department of personal development to actually have self awareness. And we see this all the time when people are really good in sales. They oftentimes create a lot of results from it, and they also have some casualties along the way. I've done this where I have had results from things, and I've also destroyed a lot of things on my path while creating that. So I really say all of this because I want people to understand my name is Derek Boykin. I am a trainer and coach, and what I consider to be a high performance trainer and coach. My focus is helping people individuals and organizations really understand personal and professional development happen together. If somebody is really wanting to improve their sales, they first have to look at what within their own ability or inability in sales is coming from their personal development. I know that when I was a kid and I was knocking on doors selling as a young man, not being exactly like the people in the neighborhood, that I had to knock on the door and step like 4 feet back and keep my hands visible. It might sound stupid, but here I am, 15 years old, 14 years old, knocking on doors, selling door to door. Maybe it was a little older than that, a little younger than that, different times. But I knew that I had to create a safe feeling for people to want to come out and just talk to some random stranger that knocked at their door. That's a high level of self-awareness. I was so self-aware of how I am perceived that I could create a different outcome because of it. And so with the importance of professional development to achieve different milestones of career, whether you're self-employed, entrepreneur, whether you're an employee, whether you're a business owner and you have employees, ultimately it's highly important to not favor personal development over professional development. It's not, there's no one or the other. These are intertwined. And what I find to be really interesting is a lot of the sales trainings and a lot of the different things I experienced, from my opinion, while I was employed, really only considered the professional aspect. There is a narrative in business that it's not personal, it's business. And I feel like that is misconstrued. I think it's misconstrued. I see it as being misconstrued. Now, there are places in certain situations where that statement holds weight, where we're looking at compensation and say a salary and a package or a contract says that this is what you're entitled to. And maybe the employer, maybe the client failed to deliver on that specific aspect of the contract. And going back to ask that they adequately remedy the situation by providing, the necessary retro pay, whatever the case is not personal. It's business. And in that context, that statement is not abusive. It's not toxic. I think that as we really realize that personal development, professional development are very intertwined, the only real challenge then comes into human resource issues. Well, how do we talk about this when human resources says that this has to be stated this way to be compliant? Well, I think that also is a unique topic, and I'm not going to unpack that in its entirety, because some of the solution for that is case by case. It's what are we wanting to say? How are we wanting to approach that? I think in reality, it's all about how we word something. We could say anything to anybody as long as we put it in the right words. And so let's keep going with this. I really want to make absolute sense with the new year for people to really understand what their real possibilities are in their business when they combine the personal development and the professional development together. So I want to talk really, really specifically on the life coach thing. Now, I personally have struggled as a coach specifically because I've never identified with a life coach. The title doesn't work for me. Uh, does my service and the things that I offer from a personal and professional development level have an impact on your life? It absolutely does. To me, the general of being a life coach kind of sounds like a therapist. Not that that's bad. I think that it's too general, it's too ambiguous. So I personally find that the value that a business owner could have in increasing their self awareness, this is a business owner increasing their self awareness in a professional value. How does that have? I think that without question, they'll make more money. They'll have better relationships with the employees that they have and the employees that they let go and the employees that they bring on. And then also with their clients. Anytime we're able to have a deeper sense of self and a better understanding of how we're perceived, we can then empathize with other people on how we are showing up. And so I think this is really big for my personality, and I'll probably stand up for this part because I think me sitting down is kind of at the end of its life cycle in this video, at least today. And then maybe I'm just kind of feeling like the chair is just it's been too much. So I think the big thing as I touch on. Wait a second, let me get some water. The self-awareness piece really comes down to the analogy that I created about myself and my energy type. And what I mean, my energy type is I'm high energy. People are like, bro, did you have coffee this morning? I'm like, nope, I don't need coffee. Now, there was a time in my life where I was drinking coffee and I actually acquired a taste for it. Like, it's so weird. So, we've got this really good coffee. No shout outs. But we got this really good coffee at the office. There's a coffee shop attached to our corporate building, this building outside. So our home office here. And anyways, I tell people this analogy that I don't need coffee to wake up. That's good. We're back to the analogy though. Is I have an energy that broadcasts power and can be felt, right? And not all plant life is intended to be that close or as close to the sun as other plant life. And my energy tends to be really high for a lot of people. Now, that high energy can take a sleepy entrepreneur or a business owner who's sleeping behind the wheel and wake them up. I mean, like maybe they got to get moving. Maybe I'm just chilling. I'm chilling. So maybe they're just too relaxed. And so this idea, this analogy that not all plant life should be that close to the sun comes back to self-awareness. I know that when I'm interacting with men and women in different areas of my life or even children, that I have to be able to dial my energy down in order to really create the connection, to have that experience with them. If my energy is just up here all the time, yeah, you guys ready? Let's get this done. Let's go, 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 go. It's too high energy. I lose people. And some people are meant to be lost. That's okay. Where in order to really create a space where someone can feel as if though They could do some growth as if though they can have a productive conversation, get some business done, whatever the case is. I have to be mindful enough of my own self, of my own energy, of how I am being perceived. And this, for high achievers, is something that we do oftentimes to a fault, where the high achiever perceives themselves to not be as healthy or as positive or as amazing as they really are. And I personally have experienced this. I have experienced my whole life where people tell me, oh, I should fly below the radar. I should do all this stuff. And these are people that are significantly unhappy with their jobs, their relationships, their physical health, their mental health, their emotional health. These are not mentors. These are not people that I would ever like call up and be like, hey, what should I do in this situation? Where should I go? How should I get there? These are people that need my services. And it took me a long time to wake up from that and actually realize that there's no value in listening to them. There's no value in allowing their narrative to be a part of my life. And so I understand this self-awareness piece to be what I think is like the building block and the foundation of professional development. Because all of our successful entrepreneurs, outside of people that have just coded an app that, like they did solo and, they, made a few trades, whatever the case is, anybody that's done anything with other people at all, no matter how big or how small, self-awareness has played a huge part of it. And how we show up and interact in relationships and teamwork and all that stuff has a lot to do with self-awareness. And then we could get into things like confidence and other things. Today, I'm going to start wrapping the video up. One of the things that I'm doing is I'm going to be accepting of long format content. I was in a presentation from Brendan Burchard, who is an advocate of professional development, and he teaches marketing. He teaches business around how thought leaders and coaches and trainers can really impact the world. And one of the big things is he's saying that long format content has a lot of value going forward. And I've always been more of a teacher, more of a trainer. That's just how I roll, because I'm very analytical. I like to learn all the nuances of things, and then I want to teach that stuff. So I'm going to be keeping my videos around like 20 to 30 minutes. When I get certain topics, they might go beyond that. Then also when I start interviewing people, we're going to, get into a little bit of a longer format content creation, maybe an hour. But I appreciate, the support, appreciate people watching. I definitely want you to take this knowledge and this information into the new year, knowing that your growth and your ability to create what you want in life is going to come from you understanding, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as an employed entrepreneur, some of my favorite people, that your ability to see yourself and apply the learnings and the trainings and the things that have come into your life, or acquire those things and apply them to your life, is going to be the single most important factor of your success. And that's one of the reasons why I choose to run my business from the perspective of business development and personal development. I had prefaced before, like, some of the life coaching stuff, it just doesn't resonate, because without connecting a personal development goal to something that I could acquire in my business, or a tangible, or something that's actually going to hold me accountable, very few people will hold strong on their personal development. It's easy to sell business development, in my opinion. I could teach people how to communicate with anybody, anytime, anywhere. You come down to my workshop in the field with me. I'll take a group of 6 out, and we can, we'll get a driver and we'll go around town and we'll spark up conversations with tons of people. We'll get name, addresses, phone numbers, whatever we need, whether we're looking for friends, whether we're looking for relationships, whether we're looking to just simply have fun and actually be social outside of our comfort zones. That's absolutely easy. That's easy. Okay. So what we really, 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 really want to actually like ask ourselves, how easy, like that's easy for me. How easy or how hard is that for you? Well, why would you do it? Would you ever do it? A lot of people are going to say, hey, I want a relationship, but I don't want to date online. Hey, I want to develop and grow my business, and I'm not really going to get on camera. I need a different demographic. I need all these things that they want to create. And the basis of that creation is personal development. The basis of that creation is truly getting out of their comfort zone. So how did they say, I'm going to get out of my comfort zone? I'm going to do a live video today. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go talk to 5 people. I'm going to go do this. If they are not holding themselves accountable beyond just the personal development stuff. We've turned personal development into edutainment. Is that the right word? Yeah, it's education and entertainment. Yeah, it's edutainment. I've never used that word in a spoken sense like that. Maybe it sounded weird. And so in reality, it's like, they're loving Tony Robbins. He's, they're cheering. They go to a self-development seminar. Maybe it's deep for the weekend. Beyond that, they come out. They're back to work. They're drinking their wine. They're eating their food. They're not going to the gym. They're doing all these other things. It's because personal development is absolutely directly attached to professional development. And professional development is directly attached to personal development. And when you connect them together, when you take that Tony Robbins event and then you bring that stuff into your business and you say you're committed to bring this into the world, you have to do it. Because there's a direct correlation to the amount of people you can help from what you're doing, your bank account, to the points on the board. Like let's talk about it. Points on the board are let's mean business. So I said, 20 minutes, I'm wrapping this up. These are things that you guys all want to be aware of going forward. So be really, really clear with yourself. What are you willing to do in your personal life that is going to help you achieve your personal goals, and what limitations are there? I know somebody that actually canceled a meeting with me twice who claims that she wants to start a family. She claims that she wants to grow her business enough to where she can work on, larger scale projects. And at the end of the day, if the family isn't important enough to make a different decision, and the business isn't important enough to make a different decision, then we got conflict. And the conflict is, what do we do? Typically, why people don't take action on stuff is because they're worried about what the fuck their family's going to think. Like, I used to be there. And so I think in this situation of COVID, of life, of all of this stuff right now, we have to start to act like there is no other option. If you're stuck at a job that you hate, there's no other option. Get out of there. If your family is toxic and unhealthy and you've been fighting that battle for years, there's no other option. Get out of there. If you're looking to develop anything, get some real metrics of accountability. Like, start tracking the things that you are working towards. Anyways, I'm creating a lot of different talk threads here, and it would probably serve better if I get a couple of bullet points for my next one. But these are all things I think are intertwined, and I don't feel like I have brought things up in this video that are not directly correlated. They all are. And if you're maybe missing some of the links because I wasn't clear enough in how I expressed it, feel free to message, drop some stuff in the chat. I'll be happy to clear up any confusion. Hey, Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. Thanks for understanding that my name's Derek Boykin. I'm here to support you. I'm here to serve you. My whole goals are truly to help other people achieve at a much faster rate. It took me a long time to take on this understanding that all of these not so good things, as a matter of fact, all these fucking terrible things that happen in my life were for me. And these things allowed me to become this amazing, extraordinary person that I am today. And because of those experiences, I can help you save time. I can help save you from things that costed me a lot of time, energy, life, money. It is absolutely imperative that we learn from the mistakes of other people. And the hardest part in doing a lot of what we need to do is including other people. And it might not be the people you think. It might be better people in terms of people that respect you as you become who you really are, because the self-development journey, the personal development journey is much different than simply just climbing a corporate ladder. But anyways, we talked a lot today, or I talked a lot about a lot of different things with you guys. I look forward to comments, thoughts, and doing more of these consistently. Have a good day, everybody.